are Haaland and Mbappe the two new guys to watch now?
Messi and
Are they going to be the Ballon d'Or winners of the next 10 years?
100%. There's no one else shifting them. Like deep it, right? Deep it. Haaland is 20, and he's got 18 Champions League goals already. 18 Champions League goals to his name already. Deep it, and he's playing for Borussia Dortmund. Like it's different if you said, he's in a Man City side or he's at Real Madrid and he's getting incredible service. He's playing at Borussia Dortmund, and he has 18 Champions League goals to his name. He's absolutely phenomenal. I think at this age, at 20 years old, he has more goals than what Messi and Ronaldo had at 20. He has more career goals than Messi and Ronaldo. So just deep the level that he's at and where he's at right now. He's got more career goals than what Mbappe had at this stage in his career. The only downside is kind of the international side he plays for. It's kind of he's not really gonna do anything internationally. And I know a lot of people will say, well, if he could be, by the time he's 27, 28, might have a couple of Ballon d'Ors to his name. He might have like 300-400 career club goals, and like, well, he ain't done nothing internationally. How great can you be? But it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that Ryan Giggs situation. He was never going to do anything with Wales. Same with Gareth Bale. Ain't never really going to get far with Wales, because it's like it's Wales, and you're up against in the World Cup, you're up against your Brazils and your Italys, multiple time winners of the World Cup, France and etc. Like, so it's kind of upsetting, but it is what it is. You just make the best of a bad situation. But I think he's gonna do great things.
Jovan, can you see Haaland taking a Ballon d'Or?
I don't know if he'll take a Ballon d'Or, but this kid is gonna go places, man. From what I'm seeing so far, the guy.
Well, rumors are the places again in Stamford Bridge. Apparently in the summer, slap that 100 mil, bam.
This is what I'm trying to say. Like, we need. He's only gonna come if we finish in Champions League places, because a guy like him ain't gonna wanna come play in Europe. So if this is true, we have to finish in top 4. Like, there's no doubt about it. And if he is the real deal and he's actually the sick, then I'm ready to have this guy, bro. He's so. What I'm seeing is sick, man. I don't know. I think he's. Oh, what a guy, man!
His release clause. I think his release clause
don't come into effect till next season.
Yeah, season afterwards. So really, and obviously, when it does come into effect,
everyone's signing him now.
No, but you know what's going to happen? Bayern's going to come in and say, look, we're going to take him and. He's going to be the new Lewandowski. We're going to replace Lewandowski.
That's exactly what will happen. That's exactly.
So, but that means that if Chelsea want him, you have to sign him this year.
If anyone wants him, it has to be. But the thing is, I don't think anyone is going to spend again recklessly 100, 200 million. No one's going to want to do that again this season. I think we're going to have another.
I'll tell you what.
I think we're going to have another window.
If you get rid of Timo Rata.
Yeah, but no one is buying. This is the problem. No one is buying anybody, and no one is selling anybody because no one wants to buy for those mad prices. So
yeah, it's gonna be a lot of money. I don't like.
They're gonna ask for at least. They're asking 100 for Sancho. It's gonna be at least 120, 130, maybe 150 if anyone wants Haaland this season, and no one's gonna pay that. And it's either you pay that this year. Or next year you're fighting.
Carl, 100 and how much did Barca play for Ousmane Dembele?
120.
And that's why Barcelona's broke.
Fire.
120 for Us, 160 for Coutinho. Was it 160 or was it 130?
Something like that. But there was a clause in it if you played a certain amount of games. Yeah. But I mean, Haaland's gonna be pushing. I don't think he will go this summer.
Call me crazy, right? But Man United could be absolute genius stroke here. Like your boy Ramon, he could be a genius here. You know what? Because like you said, right?
It ain't happening.
If
Chelsea stop speaking, it ain't gonna happen.
Wait. If Chelsea want Haaland, right? They have to get him now because the release clause is active next season, and anyone can go in for him. Real Madrid will probably make a bid to replace Benzema.
Everyone's making a bid.
Bayern will make a bid to replace Lewandowski. Like everyone's gonna go in for him, right? But if Man United was smart, they would jump the boat. They will go inside Haaland and say, you know what, Sancho, again, just one more season, just hold on, because Sancho wants to go Man United, right? If they sign Haaland, no one's not going to sign Sancho because he don't have no release clause next season. The price tag of 100, 120, whatever million that they want for him is still going to be hanging for the season afterwards. So if Man United sign Haaland and get a proper striker in and forget this nonsense Marshall Act, right?
Haaland. Marshall's nonsense now. I've been saying this for how long? Everyone's like, Javon, shut up, man. Shut up. Now look, now everyone's saying, yeah, you know what? Marshall's actually trash. He's a bum.
I've always said Marshall was trash.
No, stop it, Carl. Every time I said it, everyone was like, nah, Javon, you're smoking. How could you say that? Listen, I'm sure Ramon could back me up here. Ramon, have I always been saying I don't see the hype of Martial? And everyone used to say, nah, Javon, I don't know what you're talking about. And here we are.
That's Neeks. Neeks is
anyway. Yeah, no. Neeks is a Marshall lover, but now he's giving up on him. But they sign Haaland and they get proper strikers out because Oli wants a proper striker. Ever since getting rid of Lukaku, he's wanted a proper, a proper striker. So they sign Haaland and then they just say, you know what, Sancho, just wait one more season and then sign him the summer after. They will get him because no one's not going to buy Sancho. No one's not going to buy Sancho this summer, and he'll be available the summer afterwards. So if he was smart and played these cards,
you're asking for bears, bro.
He could get both.
You're asking for a lot here, bro. You think they're gonna spend 150 mil on Haaland when they can't even spend 100 mil on Sancho? Come over it.
He won't cost that much. I tell you why he won't cost that much. The reason why he won't cost that much is for the main reason that he has a release clause of next season. So if they overprice him, the clubs that, whoever makes the initial bid, say they make an initial bid of like 80 or 90 million and they say, no, we want 160, 150. They could just turn around and say, all right, cool. We'll just wait till next year. He's only 20. We'll wait next year. He'll be 21. He's still young and sprightly. He's still an amazing player. And we'll get him for his release clause. Like, they won't outprice him out of a bid. If they were smart, they would get the most that they potentially can without sending clubs away. They won't say 150 because that's ridiculous. They'll say, why would we end up paying double when we could just wait one more year and just get him for half the price, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, wait, but they might not get him.
Some clubs would be willing to take that risk. Like you said, we're in coronavirus. Some clubs are, dire straits on money. Bayern Munich have never been known to spend that kind of money. So they're not going to bid. Like, literally, there's only like two clubs that will potentially bid for that kind of money. Chelsea, maybe Man United, and PSG. So we'll see, innit? I don't think he'll go for 150. No way. That's ridiculous. It wouldn't.
Hello?
Yeah, what you said?
The car just disappeared.
No, I'm here.
Oh no, you were saying something and you just said it's like, and then you just stopped.
What, did I?
No? Yeah. Then you said it's like, and then you just stopped. I was like, what? Guy's losing his marbles out here. Guy's losing his marbles.
Man actually lost his whole train.
I was like, it's like.
Oh boy.
One of them days.
Yeah, man. I give him 110 at the max. 110 the max he'll go for.
Listen, Ed, I'm done with Ed, man. Man can't pick up the phone. I'm sorry, but I'm done with it. Man can't pick up the phone. He couldn't pick up the phone and make one call. He couldn't pick up the phone and make one dry call to say, look, boom, here's your 100 mil or whatever you want. Give me Sancho. So I trusted him. Trusted Ed. I thought Sancho was going to come here and be the man that leads them to the next Premier League title. Obviously, wasn't to be in it. What a shame. What a shame. Listen, before we go, we got to just a couple of things here, because obviously on Sunday, was it Sunday? Yeah, Saturday or on the weekend we had the Australian Open final, and got Naomi Osaka wins her 4th Grand Slam. Sakara Shida, is she the one that all the women need to look up to now, because she seems like she cleaned up the hard courts, Australian Open and US Open now. Is she the one that needs to, or is Serena still hanging on?
Serena hasn't really shown anything for me to say, you know what, the better ladies, the ones that make it to the quarters and semis more consistently need to worry about her. Yeah, she makes it through the first, few rounds, I don't know, like 200 seeds and the 150 seeds, and because obviously she's got that experience, and she is the legend in the game. But once you get to the younger players and the ones that have got more stamina and the ones that can actually play multiple matches of tennis, maybe by the time she gets to like the quarters and the semis, like she just hit her limit. Maybe she just that's it. She's just out of energy. She's 40 years old. Like, deep how old 40 is. Like, she's only but a decade away from 50, grandma age. So, like,
Wow.
like she's no. When I say grandma age, like, usually by the time you're 50, you have a grandchild, isn't it?
What is this guy on about?
No, but serious. Like my parents were grandparents at 50. Their parents were grandparents at 50. Like, usually 50, around about 50s when you become a grandparent. So, I'm not saying that in any disrespectful way. I'm just saying, like, she's like a decade away from like grandma age. It's a big number. Like, she's not young anymore. So, to get to like quarters and
No
semi-finals.
spring chicken.
Yeah, no spring chicken. Someone said to me, like, if she wants to go for this record and try and get this one more Grand Slam, what she needs to do is just take a long hard rest and then just pick one Grand Slam for the entire calendar year and say, I'm only going to enter this one, whether it be Wimbledon or the French Open, whichever one she feels that she's the best at and can handle the most. Because obviously, when you're running, different courts affect your knees and your feet differently. There's more strain on, like, maybe the clay court running around because it's so soft. And when you dig your feet in and you turn, it's a bit more strenuous on the ankles and the knees. So maybe she might not want to go for that one. Maybe the grass court, which is a bit softer at Wimbledon, you can slide around. It's got the turf under your feet. Maybe that might be a bit nicer. I don't know. But someone said, pick one court and say, I'm only going to enter in it this year, because entering in all 4 at the age of 40, it just ain't happening. She ain't got that in her no more. She just pick one Grand Slam and say, you know what? I'm gonna really go for it this year. I'm gonna go for Wimbledon. I'm not entering in Australia, nothing, and we're gonna try and win this. And then if I win it, I can hang up my boots and say, I hold the record now. I'm the best, and I can bow out gracefully and peacefully. Because, but in terms of Osaka, she's definitely the one to watch now. She's the one going forward that, the Martini Hingers and those ones that were meant to be the next best thing. Like, I think she's meant to be the next best now, and she's the one to watch.
Yeah, it's interesting because before, I remember last year, I think she went out to Coco Gauff, the young American girl, and obviously everyone was talking about her, that she's going to be the new best thing. And I remember her interview, she was like, I haven't got the mentality of a champion. And that was someone, and she'd already won. I think she already won 2 Grand Slams by them already. And so she said she already didn't have the mentality of a champion. And then obviously didn't win in France and didn't win in Wimbledon. And you start to think, okay, is she not got the mentality and not going to get it, or is she going to push through it? And then she went in the US Open and absolutely tore it up. Won the US Open, and I think she's now won 21 matches in a row, and won obviously the one this weekend, Australian Open. So makes it number 4. And I think now, genuinely, like, if you're a new young tennis player coming up, like Coco Gauff is, and like so many other young women are, I think she's the one to look at now. I think Serena is now past her best. I think we can realize she's past her best. But the thing is with Serena, as I literally said this 2 weeks ago, in the small game, she makes it look like she is the world best, destroying these girls, like literally 6-0, 6-1, 6-2, like absolutely duppying them. And then she'll just have
that's the intimidation factor. Like,
I think that is. I think they don't think that they can beat her because it's Serena, or Serena, she's the best. But like when she played us, and then she plays gets to the semi-finals, and Osaka just wipes her. And I think Osaka then just had the mentality of the fact that no, actually, I think she beat her before as well. So I beat you before, I can beat you again. And now, like Osaka's record, like if Serena retires this year, Osaka's record against Serena is going to look like people look like raw. Why didn't we take this girl seriously? She beat Serena. She's got a better record than Serena as in one-on-one games. And you probably look back in about 20 years when they won their thing saying, raw, was Osaka really better than Serena Williams and stuff there? But and listen, I think she's a new kid on the block that is taking the titles. And it's number 4. She's 23. There's a way to go to catch the greats, but obviously Serena set the bar that high that anyone who don't reach 20, you're thinking, well, how good were they really? But actually, you have to give them credit where it's due, man. I mean, it's not easy to win a Grand Slam, and she's won 4 already. It's whether now. My only question now is, can she do it on all 4 courts? As we just said, Carl just said about the grounds and it being tough. Can she do it on the clay courts? Can she do it on the grass court? So if she can, then for me, she's putting herself up there. She's putting herself as a potential to be the next person to really look up to. But there is someone who can do it on all 3. There is someone who can step up to the plate when it's need to. The future GOAT of Grand Slam tennis we could be looking at now. Djokovic has pulled to number 18 and now sits 2 Grand Slams behind Federer and Nadal with his win in the Australian Open, and now completely dominates the Australian Open. No one has got near him in terms of trophies. Carl, is he now the man that could be the GOAT of tennis? Are we looking at the GOAT of tennis in the future?
You know what? It's so hard to say yes. Like, and I tell you why. Because there's many people like myself that are Federer fan, because Federer was the one that came up and did it first. Between the 3 of them, between Nadal, Novak, and Federer himself, he was the first one to do gain all his Grand Slams, and then at one point Nadal came in, and then there was this whole Nadal-Federer rivalry, and then Novak came in last out of all 3 of them, and then obviously Andy Murray completed the Big 4. I mean, obviously he wasn't at their level, but so-called Big 4, won a couple Wimbledons, but because we're kind of in the Federer era, and Federer was the first one to kind of claim stake to being best in the world, not of all time, but best in the world. This generation are just so like Federer mindset, and they're so set on. He has this graceful play style, the way he was, the single-handed backhands, and the precision serves, and just so graceful. Doesn't have to run much. He just makes everything look so easy. And people will say just the way he make tennis look so easy, whereas other players, they make it look a lot harder. Have to run a lot. Have to pull out so many forehand winners, and Federer was just so graceful on the court. It will be hard, even if Novak was to go and end up on 21 or 22. A lot of people will still sit there and tell you, "No, Federer was the greatest of all time. Like he was still, he's still the best." So it's hard to say. But in terms of achievements, you would have to give it to whoever after this era ends. Whoever comes out with the most, you would have to give it to them as the greatest of all time, because achievements is achievements. You're all playing against each other. You're all kind of in the same era, the same generation, and whoever comes out with the most, you have to give it to. But if it's like a tie, say, Federer manages to eke out one more on 21, Nadal wins another French Open and he's on 21, and then Novak ends on 21, and it was to say somehow they all end up on equal footing. I mean, I don't see it happening, but say they did. You'd have to give it to Federer, because much like football, aside from achievements, people look at how they play, their ability, ability as a football player, and how good they were, as well as their achievements. So if you was to do the same with tennis, just look outside of achievements and the way they play, like technically, and how good they were as a tennis player, Federer is probably better than all 3 of them as a tennis player, as an ability wise. But yeah, man. I mean, any one of them has a shout. But for me, it's Federer at the moment. Federer for a little while. But yeah, Novak can definitely come and do it. I easily see Novak as having another 5 more in him easily. I think he's got another 5 in him easily. So it could well be.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's interesting. Like, obviously, we talk about the OTP, Nadal, one trick pony. He's won his 13 of his 20 have been on the clay. 13 of his 20 have been on the clay. That's mad. That's actually mad. That's pure domination. And don't get me wrong, that's sick in a way. You know, to dominate a thing that much is sick. I always rate that. But you got to be the king across all surfaces. Nadal will forever be known as the king of clay. I don't think he'll be known as the king of tennis. I don't see people saying Nadal is the king of tennis. Maybe Neeks can scream, he's the best, he's the best. multiple surfaces on. Yeah. Because he's won one in like 2008 and never won once. I haven't won one since. So I think he's only won one in Wimbledon or one in Australia. He's won it on multiple surfaces because he's won it on the US as well. All right, whatever, innit? Like, but 13 times. King of clay, I give that to you. Hands up. I ain't even arguing that. But I think Federer and Djokovic can do it across all 3. And obviously, as I said, Djokovic specializes maybe in the hard courts, dominates that, and Federer edges it on the grass. But for me, if Djokovic can clear Federer,
I'm so baffed. Why is it a difference? Like, isn't it just hitting the ball? Like,
nah,
man.
If you play on clay or
I'll tell you why.
Or grass, like, what's the difference?
The reason why, like, Nadal is so good on the clay is because the way he plays, right, and the way he hits the ball, he creates a lot of topspin, and they say that when the ball hits the clay court with so much topspin, it reacts a lot different. So it's not just the players running around and how it feels under the feet. I mean, for some of them it makes a difference, especially for those that run around a lot like Nadal. Like, he runs a lot, so different services. Like, that's why at that point in his career he had a long outspell with like a knee injury, because obviously he runs around a lot. He's a very energetic tennis player, and he runs and he's very, very aggressive on the court. But the way he plays, and he generates so much topspin, and the way the clay court is so soft, the ball bounces and reacts different. It's harder for the players, to get to the ball. It can swerve away from them, spin away from them. Like, it's very hard. So, and the same with the grass court. Like, the grass court, it's got grass on it. So maybe when the ball bounces, it slows it down. So you get more time to react and to get to the ball. If you're running across the court to get to the ball, and someone slaps a ball across the court, you got to run towards it, and it hits the grass, the ball's going to slow down more than if it hits on a hard court. When the hard court, because it's so hard, the ball might speed up. It bounces, it bounces off the court and the ball speeds up. So it's all about how the ball reacts to the different courts, and different players handle it, a bit differently. For those that don't run around as much, they might struggle on the hard court because, you have to run more on the hard to catch the ball. Whereas, the taller, slower players, they might, favor the grass or the clay court. It just depends, innit? Like, it just depends how you play as a player.
But I also and also with that, you get as well as we talk about the Grand Slams and the titles and the head-to-heads, you got the number one. I think Djokovic is going to overtake Federer at most weeks at number one now. So that's going to be a big achievement for Djokovic to be over 300 weeks number one, dominating Federer and Nadal. For me, that says something, because right now no one's touching Djokovic. Like, Nadal will win his clay probably this year, as he did last year, but no one's actually touching Djokovic at the moment. And I think right now Djokovic the best playing right now. And I think if Djokovic plays Nadal, Djokovic wins. If Djokovic plays Federer, Djokovic wins. Maybe on the clay, Nadal will do it, but I think right now Djokovic is clear of both of them right now. It's whether that right now can be held up against Federer's one. Because remember, it wasn't normal to go this far on. Federer got Pete Sampras's record in 2008, 2009? And that was 15, and people were like, whoa, like 15 Grand Slams is a madness. Now he's on 20 and he's struggling to hold on to that 20 already because Nadal's already caught him and Djokovic is literally right behind him. So I kind of feel sorry for Federer because he led the way. He led the way, and it's like they say the whole Messi Ronaldo debate. One wouldn't be as great if the other one weren't there. Like I think Federer has pushed these two to catch up to him because he's been so good. So he's kind of forced Nadal and Djokovic to up their game. But it might have fallen so nicely for Djokovic to fall on the right side of the ages, like being 33, Federer being 39, and Nadal 34.
I think vice versa as well. I think them two being as good as they are has forced Federer to stay into the game because I think he would have retired by now.
Yeah, true.
I think he would have retired by now. I think he's trying to cling on to him being the best and having the most Grand Slams. It'll be interesting to see when they actually call it quits. When Federer calls, because Federer's obviously going to be the first. He's going to hang up. I thought he was going to hang up when he first got that injury, but he came back and still carried on. So it'll be interesting to see when he does actually hang up. Is he going to wait for Djokovic to pass him, or he might just say just before he does, I might just hang up my boots. But I do think at the end of it all, Djokovic will be number one. Will have the most titles. Whether he'll be the GOAT. That debate will run on, man. That debate will run on. I think there'll be a lot more calling for Djokovic if he surpasses the 20. It will be interesting to see. It could end up being that Djokovic, but also the thing is with Djokovic, nobody likes him. Nobody likes his personality. Nobody likes his charisma. Like the way he throws his rackets, the way he argues with the umpires. Didn't he get disqualified one time?
Yeah, he got disqualified because he hit the ball in the umpire's head. It's like nobody actually likes him. This is the problem. There's no one like that saying Djokovic. Like when he won, I saw who was it, Vuj from Poet and Vuj, and he was making all the noise because he's Serbian. You know what I mean? Like Serbians love him, yeah, of course, but outside of that, no one's like, yes, he's the GOAT, he's the GOAT. He's got 18 titles. No one's screaming he's the GOAT. So that's the problem, I think. Nadal's a likable, Federer's the lovely, likable, calm guy.
You know what Federer needs? He needs like a male Osaka to come to the scene and just take over and just ease the burden on him and just start slapping Novak and Nadal for it. Like, but there's no one, so it's still just them three. Like there's no one coming to the fray.
Don't worry, bro. Zverev is ready, man.
Forget that guy, man. Forget. You keep banging on about that guy, man. Forget that guy, man.
He's ready, man. Just give him time. See, he lost the final last year, so he's devastated. He's absolutely devastated from losing that title. Just give him time. He'll get there. But that's the thing is, all these guys come and win one and they bounce. TM was named Dominic Thiem. He won one. It was anonymous in this tournament. Well, I say anonymous. He got a little bit further on, but he didn't get to the final. Medvedev, to his credit, played well, but
what's his name win one? Songa. Did he win one?
No, he hasn't won one. Did he win the French? No, it was the only person that won the French, apart from these three, is Wawrinka.
Oh yeah, Wawrinka.
When he was at his peak, but yeah. Like Del Potro, he's won one. Obviously, Andy Murray. But I mean,
you know how many guys have come and gone? Gail Monfils. Oh God, man.
Many guys. They come and go, man. They come and go. They come. You think, they're gonna stay, and then
go.
Yeah, they just go. But yeah, we'll see. The debate will run on again onto the French in a few months, and we'll see whether Nadal can clean up again.